Because I love everybody out there. I love them.
So there we go.
You're special to me.
Where's our camera?
Yeah,
oh, there we go.
Brio.
There we
You're
go.
on the ending thing, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Sorry, you have
and I see the audio thingy there. Okay.
We're moving?
Yeah, we are live now.
Moving on up?
We're moving on up.
To the east side?
Yes. To a deluxe apartment in the sky.
Aye.
We're moving on up.
Moving on up to the east side.
We finally got our piece of the pie.
Aye. Hey!
Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Miss Connie. There's
Connie.
2 of the night owls. Hey there, guys.
Everything's a song to me. Like, I hear music and everything, you know. It reminds me of a song, or I come up with a tune.
I could tell.
You know, you always say, you'll say stuff to be like, I can't find the jelly beans. And I'll be like, I can't find the jelly beans.
You turn it into a song.
I can't find the jelly beans.
Neil
I can't find the jelly beans.
Is here. Jack is here.
Jelly beans, I can't
Ricky
find.
Bobby's here again.
All right.
Welcome back.
Welcome
jelly
back.
beans. When have I eaten jelly
I just making it up.
Okay. Raymond says, good evening, group.
Good evening.
Hello there, Raymond. Very cool. And just to make sure, you guys can hear us and see us okay, right? Let us know in the chat just to make sure. I've been experimenting with different settings today.
Yeah, she has.
To try to get the, to try to keep things okay.
Try to, make things better for the viewing experience for you out there.
Yes, because I would like the video quality, in my opinion, to be a little bit better. So I was tweaking
superior.
Yes, because I want it to be, I want it to be good for everybody.
Yeah, people are all half asleep out there, and they don't know the difference.
Draugr says, great show tonight, guys. Thank you.
Thank
Bill
you.
says hi. Greg says howdy. Albert's there.
Howdy
Awesome.
ho.
Howdy ho. Hack says, can you guys say the card company name so we can search it to see if there's a machine in our area?
Wow, cool.
Ooh.
So that I don't know, but
well, they don't have them in the machines yet. They don't have ours in the machines yet. We're planning on that for later. But he does make stuff. They do make stuff for the for various vending machines. So let me look it up. I can get you more info.
And we'll try to find out more. And always check our Facebook page, okay? Because that's where we'll post a lot of the more current information.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because maybe we'll know after this. I don't know.
I'm sure we'll get more info, too. Detroit Land Vending is a company they work with. So they have vending machines in the Detroit area.
Gotcha.
So that's one of them. So these are all on Instagram. Detroit Land Vending. Histo Chain 1. And I think there's some others. And it might take some time to look them up. Yeah,
but we'll try to get everything on that as we can.
Yeah, but it's throughout different cities. But it's just a neat idea that it's like, a special limited thing through these vending machines. And the cards and the little trinkets they sell are like between $1 and $5. So our cards would probably be at the $5 range.
Right. Because it's us,
Well, no, and to cover the cost of making them because of the little plastic seals and everything they have to do.
That, but
yeah, the ink and everything.
Yeah. Our friend Terrence Muncie in Indiana, he was doing some trading card stuff too. It sounds like it's the big thing. So.
Are you guys going to sell them on eBay? Later on, we'll have some to sell. But
we hope.
Yeah, it sounds like he's going to send us some more.
Awesome.
To sell. But this first batch was to just try it out and to do some giveaways.
Yeah, I'm sure. This is one of the better things that we've ever received product-wise from our brand so far.
It's pretty cool. Well, that and like the figurines through Phoenix Comics and Toys.
That's right up there with them. Yeah, I love that stuff. I mean, it's like, it's real nice when people come after you to do things.
Yeah, it's nice that people ask about things like that and they want to collab with you. And we love working with other, people that are also wanting to do something creative.
Yep.
Well, there's a lot of people here. Scott West, Raymond's here, Randall's here. So glad to have you back. My favorite programming on Friday nights. Yeah. Thank you, Randall. Are they graded? No, they aren't graded, but they are sealed. There is a seal on them.
Yes. So however that's,
And it has, each one has a serial number and QR code.
Yeah, at least they're not just in a pack,
They're not technically graded by like those fancy grading companies, but they are like forever in these plastic things.
The GCI, whatever it is.
As long as you don't open them.
Yeah.
So.
Or look at them too long, and don't taunt them.
Yeah, don't taunt them. Don't look at them too
Never taunt at the trading cards.
Like Happy Fun Ball.
Right. If you know, you know. Hey! Welcome everybody to another episode of
The Mummy and the Monkey's
Harry
Scary
Hangover.
Hangover.
Yes, with your hosts Grim Gory and
Janet Decay, your
That's
yummy
right.
mummy.
yeah, we're fresh off episode 182 of the Harry Scary Hangout. And that went well. We showed the movie Scared to Death starring Bela Lugosi and George Zucco.
And that movie started out kind of okay and then kept getting worse.
That's why I
and
said
hard to follow.
Let's just retroactively rename it Bored to Death. Yeah. But yeah, good luck figuring what that one was about. But anyway, someone died and they were scared to death. So that's all you really need to know.
There's a film from the 1940s. It's a murder mystery whodunit.
Yes.
With George Zucco in it and Lucille Ball.
Oh, Lord.
And I'm gonna have to see if we could maybe play that one.
Please, no. I mean, okay.
No? It's a good movie. It's actually a good movie.
Yeah, I'd rather show
could...
good movies than just horror movies that are just horror movies.
Yeah, it's not as a horror film, but it's more of like a thriller murder mystery, and it's actually a good movie.
Yeah, anything, we're going to have to, expand our horizons when it comes to stuff we could show you, unless you want to watch the same movies over and over again, which I don't think you want to, and I don't think we want to do that, so.
No. So I think we need to pepper in a few murder mysteries here and there. And
tease the genre,
Yeah, and some of those same actors. And Boris Karloff's in that movie too.
I know. So there you go. There's a connection.
So there is a horror film connection in that one movie. So.
We'll at least try to do that. If not, well.
And we want to thank, Bob was the one who suggested that movie.
Yes, our buddy Bob.
Mm-hmm. I love murder mysteries, says Jennifer Delaney. Oh, cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of that kind of...
if you guys like those old whodunit movies, let us know.
Yeah.
Some people were requesting them earlier this year, and we did pepper some in between, the other movies. Karloff, awesome, says John. Cool. But we're going to talk about VHS tapes.
Well,
found tapes.
Yeah.
Found film.
Right, things that, There's a bunch of Facebook pages or YouTube channels and Facebook pages that have the first thing. Okay, so let me rewind all this.
Yes.
I've personally always been fascinated with the found grocery list or piece of paper on the ground and the scrawlings on it. Some of the stuff on there sometimes is very entertaining. The misspellings of on a grocery list or weird letters to people sometimes I'll pick up and find. And I've had people throughout the years go, what are you looking at that for? I'm like, I don't know. It's just fascinating to me. And there's that, right?
Antique diaries. You have antique diaries that you would...
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's weird, but, antique diaries and some that aren't so antique, but nothing too current. I mean, I like stuff that's 1930 and before that,
Yeah.
Things like that are more fascinating to me. But but more contemporary things like videotape, right? And found or stuff that people have recorded off of TV. Sometimes their own personal home videos.
Real quick, Grim. There's some comments.
Yeah.
Let's wrap that segment up about movie suggestions, and then we're going to continue on with your found chat.
I could pick up right up.
Greg says kaiju movies. A nice giant critter would be good, grimified.
Very hard to find.
There's only a few giant monster movies or kaiju movies that are in the public domain, unfortunately. Many of them are owned by Toho and other companies.
They're tough.
Yes. Houlihan and Big Chuck would show Sherlock Holmes and Charlie Chan movies.
They did.
Yeah.
And they were great.
And some of those are really good.
But as a wee ape, I never appreciated them. Now I would love to see all of that. There is a surviving Houlihan and Big Chuck Charlie Chan movie that they show. We have that.
Yeah. Now I do. And someone suggested the Mr. Wong movies. Now, those are interesting films, but it's this.
It's Boris Karloff that portrays Mr. Wong in sort of an Asian makeup sort of thing.
Yes, where these are Caucasian actors portraying Asian characters. Yeah. So they're good stories, they're good actors, but
they're sort of fringe on
they really could have hired Asian people to be those characters.
And
in my
some
opinion,
instances they did. There were some
Asian actors in those films
certain
that were good supporting actors.
Well,
yes.
yeah.
Like who was it Key Luke?
Key Luke.
Who was like the #1 son?
Yes, in some of the Charlie Chan
in the
movies,
Charlie Chan movies.
Yeah, they always had the #1 son portrayed by an actual Asian actor.
Yes.
Whereas the lead actor could be anybody,
Yeah, so it's kind of like
they had an Aborigine guy portray Charlie Chan one.
So they're interesting films, and it's part of history, and they're good actors. It's just, in my opinion, I think they should have had more Asian actors.
What makes you wonder why they didn't? If they had the #1 son portrayed, why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
But some of it was, but it's Hollywood. Don't forget. So it had to be a recognized name. And some of the actors that portrayed, even Lon Chaney, he was a big name, and he was like the man of 1,000 faces.
Yeah.
He did Fu Manchu. So there's like, so it was really about the name, like if it's
like a big Hollywood
right,
name.
like Key Luke now, like one of the
Mm-hmm.
actors that portrayed the #1, but there were several #1 sons, but you don't know their name.
Yeah.
The people that they put when they do a movie, they have to have top billing. And if the main actor is in the movie like Charlie Chan, of course he'd have the top billing. And if it's someone that the American audience weren't familiar with, it's all backed up by money. It's a bottom line thing. They had to, put someone in there to make the money.
To go back and watch them, they are still like, a lot of those movies are still good, but then, because it was from back then, sometimes it's a little cringy.
Yeah, it wasn't
in some aspects.
Well, I would say unlike other stereotypical type of roles back in those days, with the Charlie Chan in particular, it wasn't as. I mean, it was still, an appropriation thing, but it was done under the guise of the top billing of the actor. That's why they're
portraying a character.
Right.
I think it was to showcase, probably like their range of acting.
Yeah, well, that too. It was like, that was like Lon Chaney, the man of
1,000 faces, where he could play all these different characters.
And it wasn't supposed to be a racial.
It's like that old school thing.
No, it was like it's like a disguise thing. You're trying to, portray this, this character, and it wasn't about making fun of.
But yeah, the Charlie Chan character is a fun character.
Yeah, it's totally, I think, opposite of like a minstrel thing.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get into that.
So anyways, we're not going to, moving on to the VHS tapes. I just wanted to address some of those comments. But yeah, there are a few kaiju we've played before. Maybe we could replay a few.
We played a Gamera movie.
Gamera's safe to play.
There's one out there, I think, that you can show. But maybe, I don't know.
No, we've played Gamera before, I think.
Well, on Facebook.
I think we've, I'll have to look.
We'll have to do our thing and see what we can do.
See if we can anyways. So
here's more stuff we can't show, but we'll talk about it.
So VHS, we're part of, on the Big Chuck and Little John Facebook group, there's a lot of people that they look for old tapes, like old shows taped off the TV.
Yeah, flea markets, garage sales, thrift stores.
Yeah.
Just out and out ask people, hey, if you have any videotapes sitting in your basement and you don't care about them or don't want them, and you think there might be something that you taped off a TV in Cleveland back in the day, give them to us. We'd love to archive them. We'll give you your tapes back, but we just need to see what's on them.
So we're always on the lookout. We're one of those people. We're always on the lookout for VHS stuff, taped off the TV stuff.
Yeah. So I was going to go back to what I was, then you wanted to talk about...
I just wanted to address comments so people didn't think we were ignoring
them. Fine. So this goes way back for me personally. I've always been interested in like audio tapes, like cassette tapes, reel-to-reel stuff, and of course VHS and beta tapes that look like things may have been taped off of television, especially in the Cleveland area. So I've always bought those things, got them, and then to not feel so weird out in the world, I finally came across a magazine, that was called Found Magazine. There was a magazine, I'm not sure if it's around anymore, but called Found. And they published in a magazine format letters and found items like that. The things that I thought I was weird for picking up off the ground or finding here and there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an actual thing.
That's a real magazine.
If you can look up Found Magazine.
I wonder if they're still around.
I don't know. But I remember in the mid-2000s, it was sort of out there in the alternative, sort of magazine and bookshops. You'd see it in the stand. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not that out of whack.
Yeah.
But I was always interested in that stuff. So I've accrued a lot of or procured, whatever you call it, a lot of like, especially videotape stuff of people's like, private moments. Not that private. I haven't found anything like that yet. I'm still looking, but it's mostly weddings and all kinds of like family outings, things like that. It's kind of kind of interesting to me.
Picnics and family reunion, like home movies.
Yeah, home movie stuff, and there's even
so
something.
It's like you're adopting them as a family,
and with
like you're watching these old tapes.
Right, and there's some services out there that will transfer stuff from the old film reels onto videotapes. And I find some of that stuff too.
That's funny.
But mostly we're looking for stuff that's taped off of like local Northeast Ohio television.
Or really any any local program from any city that had like a movie host or a TV host.
Or anything good going on.
Like Detroit, Sir Graves Ghastly, Columbus had Fritz the Night Owl.
But matter of fact, we were just kind of flipping through YouTube the other day, and we found some, it was a Grinch Halloween special, which I didn't know existed. And it was taped on at a Chicago station in the early 1980s.
And there's actually a whole YouTube channel that I guess is like a virtual museum.
Yes, for
where
Chicago.
They have stuff archived from television in the Chicagoland area.
They have Svengoolie
on there from the 70s
which
and 80s.
At the time it was called Son of Svengoolie. But it's like full shows with commercials and everything.
And cartoons with the commercials from the 70s.
Incredible, yeah.
It was really neat to go through there and just watch some of it.
So some friends of ours, we're looking for the equivalent of that from the Cleveland area. We found some really good stuff, okay? And
lots of comments. Scott says, I collect VHS tapes. Ooh, excuse me. I loved using blanks, VHS tapes. I have over 509 of them. I love the mystery of you never know what you're going to find. Gary says, 3 of my tapes of Hula Han and Big Chuck and Big Chuck and Little John were sent to the Big Chuck and Little John website to be digitized.
And they were.
Awesome.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
And he has a lot. I'll just say he may have a treasure trove he doesn't know about at some point. But yeah, Gary's been very good at supplying us with that stuff.
And Ray says, I have Ghoul and Big Chuck and Little John shows on VHS.
All right,
so Ray, we can digitize them for you. And then that way, it'll be out there for the fans to also enjoy and watch.
You get your tapes back.
And you get the tapes back.
And DVD copies.
Yeah, we don't sell them.
No.
None of we pass them around for the fans to see.
Yes.
There's some people from the Big Chuck and Little John Facebook group that will upload them to the...
They're archived.
They archive it online for fans to watch.
Yes. So all this is done...
And that way it's for historical purposes, too. It's that little piece of history that's there. So years from now, if someone wants to research it, it's there for people to watch.
The idea here, too, is to get this stuff out to as many people as you can. And not selling it, but just not even trading it. Just giving it to them so they can enjoy it. So it can be copied and made, available to anyone that cares about this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Want it to live on. There are people out there that have stuff and will never trade it or sell it. And what's going to happen there.
Well, one person that we know.
One in particular that, God forbid, one day when we all meet that day, we're just afraid that stuff's just going to get thrown in the trash.
It'll get thrown in a dumpster.
And that's sad.
Because, if something were to happen, a lot of times people see... these old tapes and they're like, oh, what's that? And they just throw it away.
They would throw it right.
They don't really care. They don't even have a VCR to watch it.
This won't fit in my computer because it's not for the computer.
How do I watch this on my Blu-ray player?
That doesn't fit in my, No, you don't. You need the equipment. We get all that stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of us out there that are a small group of us anyway that are trying to do our best.
To preserve these old shows that we
and distribute them for free.
Okay, more comments. It's fun to... Scott says it's fun to see old commercials and remember when I originally saw it. I also have bought a few home movies from pawn stores.
Yes.
Insane J says watching the commercials off of VHS tape shows or movies is half the fun.
It's
much like fun. A little video time capsule.
Now here's a crazy thing I'll bring up. Because look, here's the thing. So here's the wackiest thing. So in the 80s when VCRs were everywhere, right?
Oh, hold on. Raymond says, I can burn them onto DVD and send them to you if you're interested.
That's fine.
That's even better.
Please.
Yeah, we didn't know that you could also digitize
We'll
them.
take anything,
Thank you, Ray.
We would love it. And we'll send stuff back to you. We'll send you stuff that we'll hopefully you don't have.
We can send you DVDs of shows too.
We will reciprocate. So, the crazy thing about the 80s is that, and all of us, even I, fell victim to this. The damn pause button. Now, the funny thing about commercials like now...
Well, back then, the commercials were annoying, and you were trying to be the pro editor.
Okay, so let me say, but the weird thing is, if you look at commercials now, I think they're a lot more... But it could be, again, because you're living here... It's the same sort of dynamic, although...
Yeah.
Back then, commercials to us were annoying. Okay,
They were.
and God, you wanted to chop them out, but God, we want to see them now.
And now we want to see the old.
My question is, 50 years from now, 30 years from now, would people want to see those car commercials? I think the commercials now aren't as interesting.
Yeah, but we're just saying that because
we're living it right. But that's how we.
But I'm thinking younger people in the future might be like, oh yeah, I miss those old commercials from 2020.
So I would say, and I'm going to say from what I've collected and what I've accrued from my own personal collection, at least, and I hate to say it, it's higher than 7%. I would say 8 out of 10 times when I find a videotape that somebody taped from the 80s, they take the commercials out.
A lot of them. A lot of people do. It blows my mind. So to see the commercials is like amazing.
But that kind, but it's because within those commercials there's like the station IDs and anything local that was mixed in with that.
Yeah, the station stuff.
So when someone tapes something off a TV and you take all that out, you might as well just watch the episode on a DVD because there's no difference. Other than the quality.
So we're hoping, to find stuff with the commercials.
That's the holy grail.
Let's read more comments.
So here we go. We got a good subject.
There's a lot of comments.
Hey, I got a big box of Betamax. I got to go.
Grinch Night was the best, says Insane J.
Grinch Night.
Grinch Night. That thing we watched.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty cool.
Greg says I had to throw away a few hundred VHS tapes I had stored at my old shop. Had a bunch of the Ghoul shows from the 90s. This was 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of that stuff. I have a lot of those, and a lot of that's preserved already, which is good.
Jennifer Delaney, I used to have VHS of old Disney cartoons.
Those are cool.
She liked watching old cartoons.
Anything taped, and and another, not a pet peeve of mine, but anything off of cable, not so good, like, off of, Nickelodeon or Cinemax.
John Lincoln, I just gave away about 700 VHS movies to the current year.
Yeah, but movies.
Oh, they're just like movies.
We're talking about stuff people taped off of television.
Oh, where's my screen?
Off of it doesn't have to be just Cleveland, but.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, there was a videotape I found that was it was a Chicago, and I got to get a hold of someone we know, ask them about that.
Yeah.
But it was a Chicago thing. I think it was from the late 80s or early 90s. But there was a thing they had on called Weather Cat, and that's what was written
Weather
on.
Cat?
That was written on the VHS tape and handwritten. And I pop it in, and somebody documented it was a news show. A news broadcast in Chicago.
Yeah.
But they had this weird thing where they would go to Weather Cat. It was weird.
Did they have like an actual cat?
It was a cat. And they would do some weird stuff with it.
Maybe it was like some inside joke with the people at the station.
But the tape was like half full of Weather Cat segments.
Weather Cat. I don't know. Never heard of them.
But that's what's fun, out of Chicago. We never heard of it, of course. But
that's fun.
But
yeah, it's interesting to see what shows were on in other cities too.
Absolutely, I'm fascinated with all of that, and so.
Ray says I used to edit out the commercials unless I taped on timer.
Everyone did that.
Yeah, a lot of people did that.
I would say, like I said, a high percentage of stuff I find, and I did it too. I look back at a lot of the stuff I taped. I'm like, oh, hopefully I didn't leave any commercials in. Sat there and you could tell when they were going out of commercial to the break. You got really good at that, and you would just hit the pause button and hit it when it came. It was just annoying.
Let's see.
Because there's nothing unique about that except for that.
Portal says you want those weirdo local channel furniture commercials.
Anything.
So I remember the Norton furniture guy.
Hi, this is Mark. If you can't get credit here, you can't get it anywhere.
His commercials were the best. And they were always on late at night, and he had the weird mannequins and all this weird stuff in the background.
There were better ones from way before then, but yeah, those are mid 90s,
like late 90s. Yeah.
Which to me wasn't that long ago, but to you,
yeah. Norton's Furniture, and then Taco Bell during a Super Bowl did a commercial with him, I think.
That was way later.
It was like years later. Years later.
Yeah, it was recent.
Yeah, it's become a cult.
They were, because Taco Bell was looking for any kind of cult sort of like local commercials, and Norton, Mark Norton's furniture company.
Norton Furniture.
Norton Furniture.
My name is Merrick.
Merrick, this is Mark.
Merrick.
Merrick, and if you can't get, anyway. So
they were gonna do a Mark Norton show.
It's on YouTube.
There's a pilot episode.
Look up Mark Norton Furniture pilot.
They were gonna make a whole series.
It's out there.
He was gonna be on the show. They did one pilot episode and it just didn't take off.
And it's on the YouTube. So anyway, so recently I came across That's a weird thing to say because I really didn't.
Graham, just show the tapes.
I happened
upon and purchased.
Yes,
there you go.
81 Betamax tapes of local Cleveland stuff.
Betamax, and you haven't watched these yet, have you?
No.
But a lot of handwritten labels.
And they're not moldy, which is nice. There might be.
Do you want me to read some of the titles?
I can see them.
Okay.
So what intrigued me was like if this was stuff that was like taped movies, I wouldn't care. You know, if they were taped from another tape source like a VHS or a whatever, I don't care about that. Or if they're taped off a Cinemax, which had no commercials or no anything, or HBO.
Yeah, it has to be like a local.
It's not that interesting to me. Or and even cable stuff like Nickelodeon, which had commercials, but they were just generic things. There wasn't anything local about it. I'm never happy to find that either. But this was a difference because there's like 81 Betamax tapes I bought for a decent amount of money, about $2 a tape. You do the math.
And we have a ton of tapes.
And this person was beautiful enough to archive everything and write everything down that's on it. Hopefully all this stuff is on it, and hopefully with commercials. Don't know yet. But here's an example of what I found on here. So it says like WW, a lot of wrestling and a lot of superhero-based stuff.
Oh, cool.
TV shows and stuff. WWF Superstars of Wrestling, 1987. The Year Interview. And then this is all like WWF stuff. Crazy, right? This one, more WWF. Defenders of the Earth. Defenders of the Earth, I think it was a cartoon. It was it was an early, the Magician and Tarzan. I think it was like a group of like early comic book and pulp fiction sort of, or pulp book heroes. PM Magazine, which was it was a syndicated show, but they would have local hosts. But I'm sure this is a Cleveland one. PM Magazine looks at Superman's 50th birthday, because Superman was created here in Cleveland.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, that's right.
See, you need to watch some of those. There's so much that we have to go through here.
Recorded 1987. So yeah, this was I know I paid up for this, as they say, but I can't just buy this at the local video store or online.
Right, this stuff is becoming harder to find.
These are one of a kinds, and the problem with this media too, videotape or beta, it can get moldy and mildewy, so that's another thing too.
Yeah, the condition is everything on them.
These are great. I think I found a few that had mold on them, but not that many. Like
Defenders also had the Phantom, the Magician was Mandrake.
Mandrake the Magician.
Scott.
Right, so it was an 80s cartoon that came out.
Albert says, didn't Michael Stanley co-host PM Magazine?
He did. Early on he did, yes.
Greg says, I have a Betamax machine, but no tapes. I don't know if it works. You can have it if you want.
We have 3 of them now.
We do. I hope they work.
But if you want to get rid of it, we'll take it.
Scott says, I bought a tape from a pawn shop that was from Florida from the 80s that had those Saturday movie things.
Bugs Bunny.
And it had the commercials. It was awesome.
Bugs Bunny, 11/26/87. I don't know what that is.
Albert says Skinamax. Laughy face.
Skinamax. I remember
those naughty channels.
So here's something fun, right? So this says tape speed, blah blah blah. Recorded from TV. Oh, I love it. Says that. All handwritten, right?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
hopefully the commercials are on there.
And it says here's what it says. So I like this because anyway, so it says like recorded from TV, CBS Summer Playhouse, the Pretenders, movie Escape from New York, movie Dragon Slayer, Scooby Doo, Bullwinkle's Corner, Mr. Peabody's Improbable History, Tom and Jerry, 1988. Now Fox or Channel 8 used to show Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Bobby says, I had one episode of Mr. Jingling on VHS.
Yeah, he does.
He had one. I don't know if he
Did
still
he buy
does.
it on VHS?
He said had in past tense. I don't know if he still does.
Bobby,
I'm just reading the comments
you're killing me. There are some Mr. Jingling stuff out there. There is a DVD of Jingling stuff out there. I have that. But who knows?
Yeah, I think there was a documentary about him.
So check this out. This makes me wonder because I got
check this out. This is part of my collection.
Hey yo!
A sealed Elvira VHS.
Whoa!
Where she hosted Bucket of Blood and I Eat Your Skin.
I have that open so we can watch it.
2-tape set. Well, this was a sealed one that I had purchased from Cinema Wasteland.
I just cracked open my own personal collections of just random stuff.
Yeah.
And that's in there too, but open so we can watch that and we can sell that one.
I have a small collection of Elvira VHS and I like of course we like the movie hosted stuff.
Of course. That's funny you found that. What else you got in your pile?
My pile isn't as big as your pile here.
Thank you.
I've got some blank VHS. These we can use too. Blank VHS. What else is here? Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
Little Shop of Horrors on VHS.
So here's another one.
The very first one.
I love it. Handwritten. Recorded from TV. Oh, thank you. So, Man from Atlantis was recorded 9/17/88. Now, I think that show, though, Man from Atlantis was earlier than that. So, I don't know what they recorded this from. I have no clue.
I don't know.
It could have been off of a regular station. It might not even be cable. I hope not.
Here's a fun one. Investing for income in the 90s.
Boring. That guy.
Not really that fun, but it's so, like, fun that it's outdated. I like that.
So I got Jake the Snake Roberts strips Rick Rude, recorded 9/17/88. Then I got movie Rockin' with Judy Jetson, recorded 9/18/88.
Very cool.
MacGyver, recorded 9/18/88.
MacGyver.
That's an ABC show. Now that's probably when the show came out. So I'm thinking this might be all about network stuff and not even just not cable.
I don't know.
I hope so. My God.
I don't know.
And then Superman cartoon, second show, recorded 10/1/88 with WWE.
So was Betamax supposed to be higher quality?
It was. It was
Is
better.
that the difference between the Beta and the VHS?
It had better resolution than the VHS. And then,
didn't they put a lot of adult videos on Betamax?
No, VHS.
Oh, that was VHS. So I got it wrong.
The adult.
Okay.
And that's supposed. From what I've read, the adult movie industry opted with the VHS for the format to distribute their movies, and that just.
So that's why the VHS took off more than Betamax.
You have people going, I don't have to go to the peep shows anymore. I can order my $80 smut tape, and then sit at home and throw it in my machine when the wife is gone, and go to town. Anyway, so there's all kinds of weird stuff. I mean,
Raymond says, "I wish I had taped Joe Bob Briggs back in the day."
A lot of
Sad
people have.
face.
Yeah, I know. Well, we wish we'd have taped the Ghoul, Big Chuck, and Little John when we all had VCRs and Superhost back in the day.
Yeah, if we had a time machine.
VCRs were, Betamax was out the late 70s. Okay, so all that stuff could have totally been archived, and maybe one person did do that. There was a woman in New York City, or somewhere in New York, I think New York City area, that had, when she passed away, they went into her apartment or whatever, and she had somewhere like 10,000 or some ridiculous amount of videotapes that she recorded all kinds of stuff off of television.
I remember hearing the story.
Yeah, it's
where
insane.
her floor to ceiling just stacks of tapes.
And I'll be the next. So
yeah, probably.
Movie The Death of the Incredible Hulk, recorded 2/18/1990. Nasty Boys first show, that must be a wrestling thing. A lot of wrestling. Star Trek The Next Generation recorded 2/24/90.
Ooh, Star
probably
Trek.
Off of Channel 43.
Probably.
Oh, please don't. If
Carlos says, I find many VHS tapes people recorded on TV shows, games,
I
or
love
family parties at the Goodwill.
It's so much fun, and I have a lot of that stuff too. Skate Boy is one of my favorite ones I found, and you know what that is.
Yeah, Skate Boy.
It's a kid in his basement having the time of his life, skating to he puts a Nancy Kerrigan.
He's roller skating in his basement
to a Nancy Kerrigan Halloween show from the early '90s. He's got that playing in the background, and
he's like pretending he's a figure skater
in his own world. It's
in
amazing.
the basement roller skating.
It's so great.
It's such a funny video.
Oh, the backdrop with the sheets hanging from the back.
We need to put some of that stuff out there.
We did put Skate Boy on Munchy Kirchy video bits,
but that was years ago. No one has seen it.
I know, but we know. Yeah, but I have so much cool stuff.
Portal says Nasty Boys was a cop show. It was pretty awesome.
Oh, see, and there's a lot of TV. So here, I'm going to hold this up real quick.
And Gary says he bought his first VCR back in 1979.
So here you go. This is what I got to play with right here, folks. Can you see that?
Woo!
80-some beta tapes. Ugh. And I do have the playlist, and we're going to have fun. And if I find anything good,
we'll share it.
It'll be shared somehow our way.
Yeah. Well, gang, let's wrap this up. But yeah, we could talk about the VHS thing for a while.
For years. I mean, you have no idea. There's so much cool stuff going on with this.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to start a channel too, a different YouTube channel
like a
altogether.
separate channel?
Yeah, called Found Hound.
Do you ever have
It's up there, but I just haven't put much on it.
He hasn't done anything with it yet.
Been too busy, but I will love to share stuff that I can up there. Yeah, so if you want to go to YouTube and look up Found Hound.
subscribe to that
Like a
because
dog? Yeah.
hopefully later on he can upload stuff.
There's
to
just one or two things up there, nothing
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
But I need to dive deeper into that once we, probably this winter I'll get more into it. But we got this show to do first, so this is the number one.
Yeah, so we're gonna take next week off,
Yes.
guys. And when I say
From the Harry Scary Hangout.
when I say we're taking next week off, meaning we just won't be hosting. We won't be live that week.
But
We'll still be working. We just
Right.
won't be live that week.
But when we return on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, we're going to have a really cool Ghoulardi Feast show.
Yeah.
With, speaking of found videotapes, something we found at a flea market a few years ago.
It's a documentary that no one has seen before. We'll just say that.
That involved Ernie Anderson. Just going to say that too.
Yeah.
It's really cool, and we, to the point that we only the only other copy we know that exists is in the Cleveland Public Library archives. Okay.
Yeah, there's only like one other copy of it downtown
And that's
somewhere. And that's it. That's the only info I could find on this thing.
And it looks like good to show, so we're going to be good. So join us then for that. But hey, stay safe, stay cool. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Harry Scary Hangover.
Yes.
Always good talking with you.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank you guys for joining
input.
us.
Yep.
Have a safe and fun weekend, and we will see you soon. Hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll have more videos on the way, more shows in the works.
That's right. So get some turkey and some snacks ready for the post-Thanksgiving show. That's right. We're going to be back with Ghoulardi Feast, baby.
Yeah. Mwah. Good night, good frights.
You want me to end it?
I
You
can
got
end,
it?
I can end the